Yes, I wanted to talk a little bit about Rock Thomas. Tim had said he was just not sure yet, because he hasn't seen it yet, whether Rock could withstand 15 to 20 carries a game. How confident are you in a guy who showed a lot of playmaking ability, but could he withstand 15 to 20 carries?
Yeah, we're all three of those running backs are competing for the job. We have confidence in. I think all three at times during the spring really showed some really good stuff. This is going to be a matter of going into fall camp. See who kind of raises our level. But we have a lot of confidence in Rock, and we have a lot of confidence in the other two too.
So a lot from Javon. A little bit on A-Day that he handled those third downs early on. He certainly has the physical build for it. Do you look at him as the third down back for pass protection for those short yards?
We've not decided anything as far as the fall is concerned, other than the fact that all three of them are talented enough to help us. They all three had good attitudes. I think overall had very good springs. It's just going to be a matter of fall camp, and even possibly early in the season, see how everything develops.
What was the final word on Joe Turner? You say you'd have something like last week.
Still nothing official yet. I'm hoping the next couple of days.
Coach, you're familiar with the talent in North Alabama. What do you like about the players, just generally, that they bring to a program like yours?
Yeah, there's a lot of very talented players up here. We got some on our team doing extremely well, and they've been a very good fit in our program.
How tough is it for someone like a Kerryon Johnson to come in and acclimate to your style of play and get some playing time?
Yeah, well, he's very talented. He's very talented and can do a lot of different things. His versatility really stood out to us, recruiting him. And we're excited that he'll be on campus soon.
I know you spoke a little bit about this last week, but Avery and Sean could both theoretically leave after this season. Just how important is tackle in this recruiting cycle?
Yeah, I think it's very important. As far as the next couple years, really. But our whole offensive line, you always got to be prepared. We've got some talented guys that have the ability to come out early. And I think as a coach, no matter whether it's tackle or any other position, you got to be thinking ahead, with that. And our coaches are aware of that.
What was it like watching 5-year players get drafted in the NFL last year?
Yeah, very excited. Very excited for them, their families, our staff, just the whole Auburn family. Most of those guys that I got a chance to either recruit or watch them get recruited, and when they got a chance to reach their goals and dreams at the next level, that's an exciting thing. And we got some guys that didn't get drafted that I really believe will be staying in the NFL a long time too. So there'll be a lot, and here in a couple of years, I think we can look back and there's a lot of very talented players that do well at the next level.
And from players to fans, how important is it to you to come here and visit your fans here in North Alabama?
Oh yeah, it's always great. It's one of my favorite stops. You can just tell the passion of the fans. It's always one of those stops I look forward to.
When it comes to 2018 and 19 with scheduling, so 2 years you guys don't have a Power 5 team yet. Do you have any preferences? I know Florida State's been talked about quite a bit, even inside your own athletic department.
On what?
On the schedule, your non-conference,
Yeah.
or anything any teams you'd like to see?
We're still working through a few things. Where our schedule is going to be a top 10 schedule every year. We know that going in, and that's just part of it. We'll be ready for it.
How much feedback do they ask from you when it comes to scheduling?
Yeah, I think it's a mutual thing. Me and Jay, and we work together on everything we do.
And you still feel at this point that keeping those FCS games, you've got them for the next couple of years, but you're still confident that those are going to be okay?
Yeah, like I said, every year we're going to have a top 10 schedule. It is what it is in the West, and so you don't make any excuses, about having a top 10 schedule every year.
When you don't have a direct hand on your players during the offseason now, how much do you rely on the seniors and the leadership to keep everybody engaged?
Yeah, that's what it's about. If you have a championship team, the leaders in the offseason really step up. They really step up when the coaches aren't around. They work on their own, have the right attitude and all that. And I think we got some real strong leaders. So really excited to see how the summer goes and see how these guys return in fall camp.
We know that Duke's physical capabilities are pretty much limitless, or among the best certainly in college football. Damian and Red have both mentioned that part of their pitch to him in recruiting him was that he could be a record breaker at Auburn, where the wide receiver records are not that outlandish, and 60 catches, from Darvin Adams, and 1068 yards and 12 touchdowns. Do you believe he's capable of breaking those records?
Well, he's a very talented receiver. There's no doubt about that. I think everybody knows that. We're very fortunate to have a lot of depth around him, and we got a lot of guys that I feel like are going to be very successful wide receivers. I think we'll have quite a few that'll play at the next level too. So, that's the good thing. Coach Craig's done a wonderful job, developing our wide receivers. You look at Sammy Coates, I think him going to Pittsburgh in the 3rd round, I think I'm kind of like him. I think that's a steal. I think Sammy will do extremely well and, kind of set the tone for the guys, moving forward.
Duke sent a couple of tweets last week that got fans quite a bit riled up and concerned. Did you speak to him at all after that?
Yeah, kids are going to be kids. We got to do a better job with, what we tweet out.
It's understood that sometimes those things happen, guys, but do you understand with him when these things happen, why some of these outbursts may occur? Do you understand where he's coming from on it?
As a head coach, I'm aware of everything, as far as that goes. Like I said, we got to do a better job of
This is just a small thing. Have you put Austin Golson on scholarship yet? And when did you?
That is a possibility that we're working on.
But it hasn't happened yet?
Right.
Okay.
And in terms of your stadium, you guys have something cool to look forward to. The largest HD board is going to be in your stadium. What does that kind of mean to the team?
Yeah, the construction's going up. It's going to be really big. You can tell just by the scaffolding behind it's going to be big. I think it'll be a great addition to already the best place in college football to play, in my opinion. Really looking forward to it and seeing what it looks like. And I think recruits as well as fans will really enjoy it.
Yes, just to go back to Duke for a second. So you have no concerns about him returning for fall camp for the season? No concerns at all in that regard?
Who are we talking about?
Duke.
Take a few more.
One of the things you made a very big point about with Nick is that he delivered in those clutch situations. That his rating in 7-point games was outstanding, and in those spots. With Jeremy, physically capable, but you haven't seen it yet. How much of a concern is it where you are entering the season with a little bit of an unknown, where he's physically capable, but he hasn't done it?
Well, we do have some good information on Jeremy. The fact that he started the very first game of the year last year against an SEC opponent, we were playing at home. And from a quarterback standpoint, there's more pressure on you when you play home. There's the road. So, he really handled himself extremely well in that situation. And every time he's went in, we felt like he's handled himself, very well. So, we got a lot of confidence in him. We'll just have to see, once we get in those situations, how he performs. But we do have a lot of confidence in him.
Do you think he's a guy that this time next year you'll be talking about him being picked up in the NFL draft the first few rounds?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I spoke to Damien a little bit about Jameis was obviously a career-defining kind of guy on the recruiting trail for him. Cam was that way for you out of the junior college ranks. For you and Rhett, this is the first quarterback that you guys took from the high school ranks and brought up through college, built him up as a backup, and now taking over. How much pressure do you feel yourself, and how much pressure do you see on Rhett to deliver and develop this one?
Yeah, as a coach, there's, you don't get caught up in how much pressure. There's pressure regardless, and you're always going to try to give your team the best chance of being successful. We have a lot of confidence in Jeremy. As you said, we know a lot about him. We think he runs our offense extremely well, and we think he'll be very successful.